let's go to the Scottish Premiership now. Joe Aribo is started well under the new manager
Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Van Bronckhorst, yeah, they lost Steven Gerrard, and Giovanni Van Bronckhorst came in. Good start. Joe Aribo scored 2 goals under the new manager.
He's not playing as a number 10.
That's where I'm coming. Yeah. So 5 goals, 2 assists so far this season. Joe Aribo, ever since he scored on his debut for the Super Eagles, he hadn't scored a competitive goal for Nigeria. I mean, we all saw his start to the Super Eagles career against is it Brazil? Ukraine, Brazil. He scored first back-to-back games. He scored, and ever since his performance has been shaky. And he's a player who has played left back for club. He's played variety of positions: left midfield, left back, wing back, winger, and all that. Now, after the game this past weekend, his manager came out to say he's a dynamic player.
Yes, he is.
He loves the fact that he can play for the team. But for players, when you've been asked what your favorite position is, do you think players are doing themselves any good to say, whatever the manager wants me to play, I will play? He can't lock down a position. Let's know this is the position you're good at or you're specialized in. I know it's a team game. You want to play for the team, but do you think coming out to say that do you think it's the right move for players? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do.
You come out to say whatever the manager wants me to play, and you just at the end of the day might just end up being square pegs and round holes. You're not known for a particular position.
I used to say these words and people didn't like it. I say utility player is a player that doesn't know how to play football. But hold on. I had Garbalawa on my podcast in Abuja, okay. And he said to me that if you want to be the number 1 player on the coach's list, you should be able to play more than one position. While I saw his reason, I agree with him and I saw his reason, the footballer in me and the coach in me says, that's not selling to me, I'm not buying. You're not going to take Cristiano Ronaldo to go play centre back or to play attacking midfield or to play defensive midfield. You're not going to tell N'Golo Kante to go and play as a top striker, right? There are players that are known for positions and they've played it all their life. Sergio Busquets, I mean, a defensive midfielder all his life. He doesn't have power, he doesn't jam people, he doesn't, but that's his position. Whether for Spanish national team, you can play a position, lock down a position, and still be very useful. And when I spoke with Ogneka Rectibo some time ago, I asked him, I said, Caro, this one that you're playing everywhere, we know you as a support striker. This is how people's career die. Okay? You want to play football and let people know where you play. At the end of the day, you'll be floating neither here nor there and nobody will know you. And I think that's the same mentality. For me, Joe Aribo should lock down a position. Shouldn't be afraid to say, I'm in number 10 or I'm in number 4. And this I can play anywhere always happen more with African players oftentimes than not. Okay? European players or South American players, they come in, this is my position, and that's where they will stay. It doesn't matter whether they are doing well. Martinelli is a striker. That's what he wants to be. Gabriel Jesus is a frontline man. He's a forward player. That's where he wants to be. Don't rotate him. Don't turn him anywhere. I know that people will talk about Zinchenko and the rest of them, but that's very, very rare occasion with European players. There are too many African players that are accepting that I will play anywhere the coach wants me to play. Lampard didn't play anywhere the coach wants him to play. Steven Gerrard didn't play anywhere. Even Giovanni, this coach that is using Giovanni Van Bronckhorst didn't play anywhere the coach wants him to play. Why are you accepting to play anywhere the coach wants you to play? Get in on the fight. If you're number 10, say you're number 10 and play there, create goals and score goals. Eventually you'll be known for that and then that becomes your mainstay. But when you are today you're playing defensive midfield like Mikel Obi, you come to the Super Eagles, you're playing attacking midfield, we begin to look at you like, oh yes, and then people are quick to tell you, the money we get, you get them. Well, I don't know if that's the conversation. If the Cristiano Ronaldo that is playing his set position does not have money, or the other ones that are playing a fixed position don't have money, I don't get it. But if that's what the career path that they've chosen, if that's what they've decided to be in their career, it's not going to stop them. But I don't think that it is a good thing to do, to say anywhere the coach wants me to play, that's where I want to play. I don't see it. I don't like it.
So for you, what's Aribo's best position? Because when it comes to the Super Eagles, at time in recent games, we've seen Rob, play him alongside NDD in that midfield too. But you've watched a bit of Joe Aribo. What can you say is the best role for Joe Aribo now for the Super Eagles?
I'm going to say that thing again that people hate me saying. Alex Iwobi have no business in the Super Eagles. I've been saying it from day one. He's played 50 games. He's played 50 games. He's had only 5 good games in the Super Eagles jerseys, meaning that he play 1 good game and wait for 10 games to get another good game. That's very same place that they play Alex Iwobi. I'm going to play Joe Aribo there because now you have Frank Onyeka, you have Wilfred Ndidi. There's no reason why I should be bothering myself playing Aribo, behind. First off, Aribo is not a fantastic marker. He struggled in the marking. That's why we don't see his impact. But he's a good ball carrier. He's a good short pass maker. Even though Teslim Balogun did not give us the benefit to see the best of our players. Yeah, some of the pitches that Super Eagles also played all through this period were terrible pitches, both for the away games and the home games. So I can't even judge. And most times when people
even the pitch they trained in Morocco, I was watching a Kong's YouTube video. At some point the players were not happy with the training pitch they gave them. Even the stadium itself, But
when you say these things, you hear some ignorant bonehead come and tell you they are professionals. They should be able to play in any pitch. This microphone that we're using, if the microphone begins to give us problem, no matter how we know how to talk sports, we can't talk well. You understand? We struggle. But people don't get all of those things. Very, very little things can upset the balance of a game. For Aribo, I think I'll play him as a number 10. Because for me, Alex Iwobi playing for any team, and that includes his club, is in the absence of everything good, just throwing the worst of the ones that you have. You know how when we do election in Nigeria, it's always the lesser of 2 evils. We've never had an election where we say we're voting competence, ability versus incompetence. It's always the best of the lesser of 2 evils, the lesser of 2 incompetent people, the lesser of 2 very daft people. That's what we pick from, and that the Super Eagles that have had players play for the Super Eagles, and I hate to go back to the class of '94 and previous people like the Mikel Obi or Wisino Roma and the rest of them, to now have Alex Iwobi as the guy who is playing as the guy who would create goals for our attackers is like the sickest thing. If you play football, it's the sickest thing you can imagine, because you know that this boy does not have the capacity in him. You say generator, there's something called AVRO in a generator. I was talking something about AVRO in a generator. If you do the engineering, every generator have 2 parts: the mechanical part and the electrical part. Now, the mechanical part is responsible for rotating the generator to generate, rotating the power on the coil to transmit energy through the wires, and then you get light in your house. But the AVRO is that thing. It's like the heart of the generator. The capacity of the AVRO will determine the amount of current you can get in your circuit. So if, for instance, you have an AVRO that is for I better pass my neighbor generator, you can't go and put it in a 10 kVA generator. You will not have light. The generator will come on, it will work, it will run, but you will not have light. Just the same way with the coil. So everybody needs to know what their capacity is, what they can do. If you don't know that, you have problem. And like Henry said, it is this whole idea of jack of all trade, master of none that's killing us. I know that I don't use that to describe things, because it's like double your hustle, you must do multiple sources of income and all that. But in professional environment, be who you be. I tell my crew every day, I'm not a video editor. I'm not going to go do video editing. I'm not a sound man. I'm not going to do that. There are 2 things I'm very, very good at. First and foremost, I'm an analyst. I am the best in the world at doing that. Secondly, I'm not a CEO. My job is to look for money. I'm going to do that. I'm learning. I'm an upcoming CEO in that department. But when it comes to football analysis, I don't need anybody's opinion. I'm good at what I do. I'm going to face it. I'm not going to all those people who get the job say, what can you do? I can do anything. Please, nigga, please.
Not like we're comparing both players, but funny enough, they both wear the number 17 jersey for their respective club sides. But whenever Aribo goes back to Rangers, he tends to put better performance. He just lifts himself. But
what about the performance of Iwobi for Everton?
I don't know. I just don't know what's happening. We're talking about Aribo playing here. I think same thing happened with Iwobi. At times he plays right wing back.
Iwobi not sabi play ball. He not sabi play ball. These are one of some of those lucky people who just get lucky to have a club career. It's just like the same thing I was saying about Jack Wilshere back in the day. Jack Wilshere is not a good footballer. People wanted to convince me that he's the next Paul Gascoigne. Where is he today? When it comes to calling footballers, I don't think I've gotten it wrong by any shade. And I can give you a list of players. Remember when the whole hordes of Arsenal fans told me that I was not being patient with Nicolas Pepe? Where is it today? Arsenal wants to sell him at a cut price. They've not even paid the money that they used to sign him completely, but they want to sell him. They are ready to sell him for 21 million. That's a player that they bought for 72. When I said that Wilfred Bonny was all muscle, no football, they say, oh, is he the next best thing since Jesus Christ carried cross of Calvary from Owerri to Calvary? Where is it today? When I told you guys that Michu was a one-season wonder and he can't do anything in football because his timing was wrong, the way he runs wasn't good. Even the best agent cannot sell him. Where is it today? Adama Traore, they told me he's the sweetest thing since Spanish Jita. Where is he now? We only hear rumors. Barcelona want to sign it. This one want to sign it. Not lie. They're not savvy play ball. They're not savvy play ball. Football is in the touch. Your first touch of the ball. Your movement. Two things you judge. If you watch a footballer, two things you look at for is run with and without the ball. On and off the ball runs. First off. Your control. When you look at the player's control, it's like, okay, this guy is good. We're going to mold this player to be this kind of player. Then you not try to change. Like Lampard. Mourinho made him arrive at the box. So Mourinho decided not to play twin strikers because Chelsea have already had twin strikers. Mourinho know that, okay, I have Lampard and his shooting is good and I want to use him because Mourinho was obsessed about Steven Gerrard. He said it. He was obsessed about Steven Gerrard, but Steven Gerrard would not leave Liverpool. And Steven Gerrard was the new Paul Scholes. He could shoot from anywhere. He needed somebody who's the answer. That's how Mourinho worked. Who is the answer to Steven Gerrard? He now created a channel. He opened a canal for Steven Gerrard to always arrive at the box. He got a DJ Drogba who can play with his back to the goal, who can play with his side to the goal. He's any side, anywhere he's facing, he can perform wonders. But there is not going to be a twin striker with him to aid, to block that space that Steven Gerrard will go into. Steven Gerrard became a goal scoring machine. Frank Lampard became a goal scoring machine for Chelsea and a record goal scorer as a midfielder. Then when you make coaches like that, they change your game. But first of all, Monday Sinclair will say, I am not a miracle worker. I don't perform magic. You must come with something. Then I will coach that something that you come with. Some of the players, like Iwobi, he not come with anything.
I mean, for Joe Aribo, his current contract at Rangers will end in 2023. And there are talks of extension. He's been rumored linked with some clubs in the Premier League. I mean, Steven Gerrard left Rangers to Aston Villa. There are talks that he might join him there. But I mean, for Joe Aribo, we've seen the kind of player he is, and we hope this new start to life under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will lift him and give him a boost.
Aribo is a good player, in my opinion.
So I think he's a good player as well. I just don't know what happens when it comes to the national team, but
they'll put him in the right place, and then I pray that we have good pitches. I was really hoping to see how we play in the Nations Cup under Ganotro, and I say, okay, look at the players playing in the better pitches and see how it is. But unfortunately, Ganotro is not going to be there. But that's not my business anyway. Anybody who's there will see how they use these players, and we'll see the result.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.